Sorry. So we're recording. All right, 3, 2, 1, and we're back to the Savage Barbell podcast. So we got Chase and Reink on the line. We're talking. Reink hasn't been on in a while. He's been up at Georgia, interning in the weight room. So I figured we'd get him on, and so he can talk about kind of the differences between mid-major football, where he played for a few years at South, and then like the national championship quality team, the difference in protocols and training and athletes and things like that. But before we do that, Reink, I want to know if you know this song. It'll play. Hold on. Can you hear that? The little Bengals kid rapping after beating the Chiefs' ass today.
No, I didn't hear that.
You can't hear the song?
Hell no.
Oh, damn it, it's not working. Fuck. It's a little kid rapping knife fight. You've never seen the Bengals kid rapping knife fight in the Bengals jersey?
No. Is it a whole?
Oh, it's hilarious. But anyways, well, that sucked that didn't work. But anyway, so Reink, kind of just, talk about what you got going on, and then Chase and hop in when you want to, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I've been up here for a couple weeks now. First week we were here was kind of like some downtime because I think Chasen can back me up on this one. I think the rule is from the last game, they have to give the players at least like 2 weeks of downtime. So 2 weeks after the national championship, they were just kind of, honestly, there was no upperclassmen. There was a few mid-year guys, so like kids that graduated high school early that had came in, and we were working with them, just getting them like acclimated and stuff because it's going to be their first taste of a college weight room and off-season training too, which typically is harder than in-season training. But this last week was like the first real week, and so we got Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 lifting groups. Got an 8, a 115, and a 3. And then Tuesday, Thursdays, we have team runs at 2:30 right now. And it's spaced out pretty good, I think. My duties really right now, I'm not doing a whole lot. There has been a couple turnovers of the coaches. The coach that got me this position, or who I talked to, left before I even stepped on campus, so I never got a chance to meet him. He got the head job at Louisville. And then another guy ended up going down to Miami with Coach Feld, who was out at Oregon. So they're still actually looking for one guy. They ended up hiring a guy he was the head coach for a couple weeks at Grambling State, then got the call to come to Georgia. So he packed up and moved up here.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
But yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I talked to him about it. It was a good opportunity for him, no doubt. But yeah, so we've really just been observing at this point, just because Coach Sinclair, the head guy up here, he's been kind of stressed a little bit trying to get some new guys in, and he's just been a little short-staffed, and we've just been trying to get in where we fit in.
No, I feel you.
Now, and the new guy that he hired is now like our intern coach, so we'll actually have some curriculum and be able to sit down and discuss some science and actually go over some things.
So, how many interns do you got? Are there with you right now?
There's 6 of us total. We started out with 5, but then the beginning of this week we added a 6th one.
What any of the guys or girls college athletes, or are they just trying to get in strength conditioning, or are they just interns from the university? You know what I mean? Like, any of them actually former athletes, or are they just kind of doing it just for the experience?
So there's 4 guys and then 2 girls. All of the guys played college football. The one kid actually played at West Florida that I'm with, so he was down around our area. One kid played up in New York, and then another played in Ohio. And then one girl with us, she was in the Marine Corps, and she had been active for a while, and then now she's back at UGA getting her master's in kinesiology with a emphasis on strength and conditioning. And then the other girl is finishing up her master's at Georgia Southern, I believe it was. And I think it's like a coaching degree, which I wasn't 100% sure what it was. But yeah, so the two girls I don't think play college sports, but the other three, they all play college football as well. So they've been around. And all of them had interned other places. This is my first one. So one had interned at Georgia Southern and West Florida. And the other was, the guy from New York was at Syracuse. And then the other guy was at Carson Newman, which I think's in Tennessee, if I can remember right. But yeah, so as far as internships go, I'm probably the least tenured out of these guys.
Yeah, I feel you on that. You got anything for him, Chasen, before we go on to his daily stuff or whatever he's doing up there?
Yeah. I mean, just from what you told me already, Reink, it's a good crowd of interns. Usually they try to, at least when I was at Texas, they always told me they tried to have one kind of, not oddball, but someone who didn't fit the script of like a strength and conditioning intern. So we had, someone from the military there as well. It was like 30, I think, or 29. But when you're at those big universities, you'll get a pool of like people. And, some of those people, they've interned at other places, but you probably know just as much, if not more, than them already. So,
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, I remember when I got the position or whatever, they said one of the biggest things was I had already had the experience in the private sector working with Jake over at AMP. So I think that definitely gave me a leg up. And that was probably like one of the bigger things on my resume, trying to get one of these spots.
No, for sure.
So, I'm always grateful for all the stuff I was allowed to do at AMP with you, Jake.
Oh yeah, no worries. I appreciate it. I mean, anytime. So what does your daily duties look like? Are you wiping sweat off of players? Are you picking up their tape? Or y'all actually coaching them up? Or what does a daily duty look like? I know you guys haven't gone full go yet. It sounds like,
yeah.
But I mean, you're still doing stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, usually when we first get there, or like the day before on like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we usually set up what we're going to do exercise-wise, just so, because I sent you guys some pictures. The weight room is unreal big. I think it's like 24,000 square feet or something. I don't know, but it's huge. And I was telling the guys, I don't know if I could ever get used to it just because there's so many like capabilities. You can, like one rack is capable of like 50 different exercises. It's nuts. But yeah, so we'll set up day before for workouts like that, just so it's not, cause it can take like 30 minutes to an hour just to set up a whole section for some of these things. And then a lot of just finding work, honestly, at this point right now, just kind of like spot checking stuff, making sure it's clean, because it's so big, you can easily like just walk by something and not even notice it. And he's kind of a stickler for, his big thing is he wants to make the weight room pretty much at the end of every week look like it's never been used, like since its conception. And I agree with it. It looks really good when we like clean it like that, and you can attest to that in your weight room too. I know you've had your struggle over the years trying to keep it clean with all your guys leaving stuff out and all that, but yeah, that's probably our main duty, is set up, break down, clean. And we're not really allowed to coach, just because that's NCAA rules. But we can encourage and spot the guys and things like that. But
So what so besides like cleaning and making sure everything's set up, what does their plan kind of look like? It sounds like they lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they run Tuesday, Thursdays. So are they just kind of doing, just getting back in the swing of things, or like they, pushing it hard? Or I mean, can some of these kids, they've never worked out before, but they're just freak athletes? Like, what is your, looking up from, 40,000 square feet, looking into it, what does it look like?
So just observing out the gate. So this week they were kind of taking it easing into it, obviously, because, some of these guys are still probably still in season shape with the, 15 straight games like that. And there's a handful of guys that, from what I can see, probably won't even do a whole lot this spring just because they're banged up and they're going to ease them back into it. Some people have needed surgery, things like that. But that's typical at the end of every season usually. A lot of guys fight through stuff just to make it, and shoot, when you win the natty, it's 100% worth it. But, so yeah, they were just kind of easing in this week. We were just maybe like 2 or 3 sets, just getting like motions down and the way coach likes technique and stuff like that, especially for the younger guys. Just kind of coaching them up and making sure they were performing all the exercises correctly. And then this next week, I think we're going to ramp it up and start hitting sets for like 5 and 6 sets of workouts and things like that. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of freaks, and the weight, it can get up there easily. But we have been using, percentage-based stuff, but it's been really light out of the gate. We've maybe only got up to like 45% of most of these guys' maxes. And another thing is we're trying to determine some of the maxes, or like estimated maxes for the younger guys, just because we probably won't max till later down the road. I don't know what his plans are for that. Yeah. But yeah, and I think he's still kind of, as we go along, he's still going to try and mess with some things as far as his program-wise, just because it was such a short turnaround and he had to make new hires and all that kind of stuff. He just didn't have a big jump on the program for this off season as he probably would have liked to. But, it's a good problem to have. After.
Right. So, Chasen, with what he's saying, going from with the national champs, what sounds like they're doing is just barely just getting moving and stuff. What's the biggest difference between what you guys are doing and, say, someone like that who has all the 5-star, 4-star athletes, and someone, a coach who's at a mid-major who you have to get these kids bigger and faster to compete with those guys, where you may not have the time to – I know you're teaching them movements and lifts and technical cues, but at the same time, and back your guys' head, you have to get them bigger and stronger and faster to compete with the kids who came out of high school bigger, stronger, faster, So what do you think the biggest difference is that you see from what you guys have to do compared to and like you were at Texas for a whole year or whole football season almost, so you kind of you know the difference hands on. So what the biggest difference you think there is from being at a mid-major like you are now and when you're at Ark State from then when you're at Texas and what Reink is saying about how they're attacking the day?
Yeah. So when, like, obviously we didn't make a bowl game this year, so our whole goal, and we had a lot of guys beat up too, just because we don't have the depth that some of those SEC schools and Power 5 schools have. But coming back from, Christmas break, man, we would just hope that they did something to stay in some sort of shape over the break, like bodybuilding or, even body weight stuff, and just, running or taking a walk and staying in shape so they can handle some sort of training load coming back. But we hit the ground running, probably a week after school started. We gave them a week to, get their class schedules down and kind of get all the newcomers in. And we had about 2 days the first week, towards the end of the week, of, getting guys into the groove of things, kind of doing everything on the whistle, staying very light, teaching some of the new guys, power clean, different things like that. But, I mean, the first 2 to 3 weeks of our off-season program, everyone's doing the same thing, trying to, correct movement patterns, just coming back from a month off and coming back from the season, because a lot of the movements that we start to use in the beginning of the off season, we necessarily didn't do at the end of the in-season training. Like a power clean, catching a power clean, and, even working into some of the hang full cleans and stuff like that. Like, we haven't done any of that stuff since almost last summer, because once we get into in-season training, we limit our, catches on our pulls. We, stick to a lot of trap bar stuff, because that allows us to kind of load the deadlift or load the clean pattern without having so much spinal shear load. So the first 2 to 3 weeks of our off season is very basic, very light for everyone. Just teaching everybody, making sure they remember how to, like we've said before, like, these kids don't remember how to tie their shoes.
Yeah.
So we've really got to go back to the basics, and we try to keep it that way for 3 weeks, and then we start to move into some of our more advanced movements, and just the teaching pattern. Like, I don't know what you guys will do at Georgia, but because we didn't make a bowl game and because our head coach likes to get spring practice over with early, we start spring practice in 2 weeks, and you guys just came off of a national championship game, 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we got 3 weeks to teach everybody and get some general, some GPP in, and then we got 1 or 2 weeks to ramp them up into spring ball training, and then we're kind of maintaining here for the next 5 to 6 weeks. Then after that, we'll have a good 4 weeks with them before the semester's over. And dude, you think the spring is gonna take forever, but as soon as spring ball hits, the rest of the semester and the rest of the training flies by. It's the summer that usually gets dragged out and seems like it takes forever because you're so focused on the football guys, because they're the only guys on campus. But I mean, that's how it looks different for us. We take 3 weeks, we teach the basics, and, then we start kind of getting into our groups and, letting the older guys do some more advanced stuff or do some heavier things, and still teaching those younger guys just so they don't get, injured going into spring training.
Yeah, like I remember when when I was at Virginia Tech, we would always go to a BCS game or a New Year's Eve game or whatever the couple years I was there, and we'd have, a little more time than those Georgia guys had off, but it'd be like, we'd play on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and then we'd get home the next day, and then we'd have to be back on campus like the 8th or 7th, and school starts on the 10th, so you'd have like a day off, and then we kind of just hit the ground running. The guys that are beat up would do, lighter stuff or this or that. But, I really think it's so crazy. I think it really just depends on the philosophy of the head guy. I don't really think it matters, if they won the national championship 2 weeks ago or not, or, you didn't go to a bowl game. I think the mindset of the head strength coach is what really determines what they're doing. Like Kirby Smart may want this or this or this, but in reality, the head strength coach can take it in and say, we're going to do that, and do his own thing and just manipulate to sound what a head coach wants. So, I think it just depends on every situation, Like those Georgia guys, I'm sure half the team needs to lift hard and lift heavy because they coasted for, the past 6 weeks going into the national championship because how many bowls did you guys go to when you were at South? 1?
Yeah, 1.
So
I got 2, but
so when was y'all's bowls? Was it around Christmas time or before Christmas?
Like the 21st or something, and then maybe like somewhere around the 20th.
The other one was the Arizona one was like after Christmas.
So think about like
it was like 27th.
So think of the
28th.
Arizona Bowl, right? Think of the Arizona Bowl. So think of, you have your last game in the beginning of December. You have the championship, which is like on the 10th or something in December. And then you have your exams. And then, really you're not doing anything. You have some practices here and there and some weights. And then the week going into practice, it's hard. The game, it's hard. But then after that, it's really not as bad as I think probably people really think about it. Now, your starters, your O-line, D-line, you guys are real beat up. I can get why you want to give them a break. But it's not as grueling as a process as I think a lot of people think it is going from August all the way through January. Now, for a coach, it probably sucks. Like I wouldn't want to be want to be a football coach and have to coach from August all the way to January, have no life. But I think the players probably feel a little bit better than most people would think. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know how you guys think about that, but
No, yeah, I mean, it's tough regardless. I mean, and if you get good work done in season, you should be able to roll right over into, your January and your spring semester.
yeah.
But that's in a perfect world. These kids, like, any chance they get, they're going to go off the rails. That's just where they're at in their life.
No, 100%.
So, I mean, we, like, anything we do, we take that into consideration. But on the flip side of that, we also take into consideration their bodies repair and their bodies recover at a very rapid rate. So if we do push it too hard one week or one day, they'll be all right. Give them 2 days off, they'll be good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we can attest to that today, how shitty we felt when we thought we were going to have a good day today, fucking going heavy, maxing out, and it was a real shitty day, Just because we're older, we can't recover like a 20-year-old college kid can anymore,
Yeah. I was really upset about today.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
What'd y'all work today?
Dude, I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, yeah, we were supposed to max out since I'm having surgery on Thursday finally. We were just going to hit our squats and deadlifts. And, we were doing pretty good the past, 6 to 8 weeks, going pretty hard. And then, just shit the bed on both of them.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Damn. Pretty bad.
Yeah, it was a pretty shitty day. But that's that. Well, what else is new, Reink, up in Georgia? How's the nightlife? The ladies. What else is going on besides football? Since it seems like it's pretty easy right now up there.
Yeah, I went out maybe the first weekend I got up here, and it was like that was like the same day as the celebration, so it's a pretty good crowd out that night. But yeah, it's not a bad place to be, especially right now. But really, I've just been laying low these last couple weekends. Like, I'm studying for that CSCS test, trying to get that right. I'm eligible to take it again since I failed it the first time. It's like the end of February. I'm hoping to get ready for that and then just knock that out in February, so I just don't have to worry about it anymore. Then I'll probably start hitting the town again, and seeing what Athens really has to offer. But yeah, it's a cool little town. Like, really, got that small college town vibe, but you can get across campus in like minutes.
Yeah, but like you were talking about, like the way, like being a small college vibe, and then you get on campus in the football facility, and you talked about how big the facility was, 20-some thousand square feet. That's bigger than the warehouse we have. What all do they have in there? I mean, I know they have everything, but like, what are a couple things that really stick out when you walked in there? Like, damn, they have this in here. Like, what the fuck? Like, who has that type? It could be like perches where they monitor velocity through cameras. It could be force plates built into the ground, or like, I know like at West Virginia, that's like 3 levels. There's like a downstairs, middle level, upper level. What things stuck out more so than just like how nice the racks and dumbbell. Like, what are some of the things, or even dumbbells? I don't know. Like, what are some of the things that stuck out? You're like, holy shit! Like, I've never seen some shit like this before, except for on the internet or on YouTube.
Yeah, well, so like right out when you like walk up the stairs, so like every day when we're going in the weight room, like the kids will start at the bottom of these stairs, and they're kind of like, they use them as warm up. You run up those stairs, and then like directly off to the right, they have those giant stainless steel dumbbells, 160 to 200, and they're decked out. They got like a little spinner logo with the G on it, and those things are crazy. And like I was telling you guys, I'm trying to hit those at least once before I head out.
I can get strong enough. Has anybody ever touched those since you've been in there?
No, yeah, no one's picked those up since I've been in there. We've really only done like some incline work, so maybe down the road we'll get some like flat bench or something like that, and I'll see one of these guys pick up the 2 hundos, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, I know
But yeah, and no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, 200-pound dumbbell. I mean, I know how big our 175s are. Can only imagine how big 200-pound dumbbells look.
Yeah, it's like hard to even take off the rack. They're ridiculous, but they look cool as hell. But then, yeah, and I mean, so it's just like custom Sorinex as far as the eye can see. Everything's decked out. They've got like these bulldog rows they call, like everything's built into the racks. Monkey bars in between the power racks. They'll have that, like I said, they had the Olympic side and then a power side. Perch on every rack. All power bars, and then
do have
Olympic.
So they do have the perch system in there.
Yeah, they have the perch on both sides.
That's pretty fancy.
It's pretty sweet stuff. We haven't really we may not even use it this off season, is what Coach was saying, but they were using it in season to keep track of everything, just to make sure the guys were still pushing themselves to keep speed. And like what Jason talked about earlier, like I think this is the first year they've really had a sports science guy that's been monitoring all their stuff.
Oh, they have someone in there that does that now?
Yeah. So they were monitoring them all season, and they got really good numbers, and it didn't seem like a lot of guys had huge drop-offs from, the beginning of last offseason to the end of the regular season, or the end of the national championship game. So they were still working pretty hard in season is what it was sounding like. So, and, these guys are freaks, so they don't fatigue very easily.
No. So, yeah, I'm looking.
They didn't lose a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm on their website right now looking at the weight room. I feel like there's enough racks in there. They could have everybody in there at one time if they truly needed to. Is that just me looking at it? Or was like I mean, it literally looks like there's, I don't even know how many racks there are. Hold on, maybe it says. It's crazy amount of
So he likes to keep 8 of everything, but all those power racks are double. So
so there's probably 16,
32 power racks.
That's what I say. There's 16 on each side, and there's a full rack and then a half rack on the outside of it. So then that's another. Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, no, they could easily have the whole team in there at one time if they needed.
Big ass jumbotron in there or something, some screen.
He throws the workouts up there, and it's got little TVs on it too, so you can watch 7 different games on it if you need to.
That's wild. What so where's the head guy from? What is his background? I mean, I know you haven't really probably talked. I mean, I know you've talked to him, but since he's not really doing the internship, what do you really know about him? Where is he from? What does his system kind of look like, if you know anything, or philosophy, or is he a raw guy? Is he a sciencey guy, or is he just kind of old school, grinded out? Like I said, I know you haven't done much in the weight room so far, but I'm sure you've gotten something from being around him,
Yeah, I know he's definitely an old school guy. Reminds me a lot of Schwinn, really. I feel like I think they're definitely on the same tree, but so I think he's really got his first start, his head job at UCF, maybe as an assistant. I might be wrong, but then he went to Marshall after that, and from Marshall, I think he then got the head job at Georgia once Kirby got the head coaching job.
I gotcha.
And then his philosophy, still trying to figure it out, really. As far as weightlifting, he is a raw guy, though. He does like to keep it super high energy and get under some of these guys, and he's really hands on. And he's been doing this for 22 years, so he's been in it for quite a while.
Yeah,
but yeah, I've only just got a little taste of his programming, so kind of waiting to see exactly what the plan is for this off season. Leading into spring ball, and then hopefully hit it hard right after spring ball.
Yeah. Well, what about the new guy from Grambling? Have y'all talked to him really much, or he just hasn't even showed up yet?
No, he's been here. This was his first week. So yeah, he was at Miami before that, and then Temple and Maryland also.
What's his name?
Jordan Barber. And yeah, he's a younger guy. He's going to be taking care of the interns from here on out. And yeah, I think he's 29. He told me. So yeah, he's making a quick come up at this point in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's he's got a track background. He was telling me, or at least not a track background, but that's what he played or did at Towson in college. And then just from there, he's like transitioned over to strength and conditioning and just was always getting football jobs from there on out. I don't know if that was by design or it just happened that way, but
no, yeah, that's where the money's at. You don't want to be a track strength and conditioning coach. You want to.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to make the big bucks. But well, I mean, anything else new going on, or lifting wise, or how's your hip doing, or what else is new in the life? We haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry I missed you guys the other week. That was the week I went out, but it's finally starting to feel really good. I actually got back into your program a few weeks ago, but then my knee started bothering me, so I backed off a little bit. I think that might be my New Year's resolution, is like listen to my body instead of just push through it and end up not doing shit for 6 months. But it's starting to feel really good. And once my knee comes down, I plan on hitting the Olympic stuff hard again, hopefully, and actually like get to lift in that weight room.
Yeah, it'd be fun to do some cool stuff in there. Maybe show some of those. When you're lifting, some of those guys will come in and they can see what you can do with the Olympic stuff. Because you're probably just as big as, So I know there's some of the guys probably are freaky big, but just stature wise, like. You're probably just as big as their tight ends and receivers and all that stuff, I would think. Outside linebackers.
Yeah, I match up with a couple of them, but some of them are.
How big is the one guy in real life? He was like number 0, who's a tight end. I don't know if he transferred or not. Black guy.
No, he's still here. Washington.
Is he big as shit?
Yeah, he's tall. Yeah, he's tall, and he can move too. Yeah, he's a legit 6'7".
Wow.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Well, shit. Well, I mean, that's it. Oh, Chasen, I figured a way. I was thinking earlier when you were talking about deadlifts. We could use the trap bars on the for the eccentrics for the belt squat that we were trying to figure out today.
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking about that when you said how you guys were using the trap bars to kind of keep their spines neutral and things like that, so they don't hurt their backs. And then I was thinking, well, why do we not just try the trap bar for the eccentric load if we really wanted to?
Yeah, I didn't think about that at all.
Still doing that on the belt squat, you said?
You can still somewhat sit down like a regular squat, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I mean, no, yeah, so today after we had our real shitty session, we were messing around the belt squats with like the weight releasers and shit, like trying to just do some funky stuff. And like the weight releasers worked really good, like super heavy, go down slow, kind of like how we would do the eccentrics with the snatch grip. You remember, Reink, how we would do that on the belt squat? Yeah. So we were doing that, but like with weight releasers on the actual trolley and then like shooting up rapidly, and like it was really good. It's just you'd need a minimum of like one person with you to do that, to put the weight releasers on every rep, whereas then we were trying to figure out like how can we hook up a cable, do this, like jerry rig, a sandbag, and then I don't know why we didn't think of the giant trap bars we have, because those are low handles, so it'd be like getting down to the ground and then explode right up when we let go of it. Just trying to figure out other ways to get strong, especially me, since I'm going to be in a sling for about 2 months coming up soon.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come up with some creative ways for sure, because I know you're hacking this up still.
No, and I'm weak as fuck right now too. So
Oh yeah, but you can't hold the trap bar with one hand.
Dude,
You can get that like hook thing.
No, dude. Well, I don't. I was just say I could use the strap thing, but I can't really do a release with the strap. Like we have one of those neck straps, so you can deadlift without your hands. But I don't think that would really work. I mean, I'll do that for deadlifting, but I don't know. I got to figure some shit out. But no, I'll probably just have somebody in there, one of my interns, fucking that do the weight releasers for me, because I kind of like that for real. Load it up really
I thought
heavy.
it worked pretty well.
Like load the weight releasers up maybe more so than the belt, the actual trolley, since I won't be able to use my hands to come up out of the hole. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good feeling on the hips.
Yeah.
So, but all right, well, short, sweet one today. You guys got anything, or tell them where to follow you, or anything like that? Jason, you got anything?
I'm good, man. Good to go.
Reink?
Yeah, shoot, I'm straightforward too, man. I'm glad to be back on the podcast. Like, remind me of the good old days.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can do this more often, and get some stuff going on the computer so we can get video out there as well. But remember to like, share, subscribe, download on Spotify, the YouTube channel, all that good stuff, and remember, stay savage, not average.